What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one, got the post-game report, post-game breakdown to Michigan's tough 27-17 loss to Washington on the road. Gonna be going over the key takeaways from this one. Just way too many mistakes late in the game really cost Michigan this one. The poor defensive play calling and defensive play, but there were some positives to take away from this one, especially offensively. It seems Michigan has found their quarterback. We go over that, what Sharon Moore said post-game, his message to the team, and what to expect moving forward from this team entering a bye week. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it here. So this was a tough loss for this team. Ultimately a disappointing loss for this team as well. This was a very winnable game. Michigan went down early 14-0. Obviously, that's always going to be hard to overcome on the road, but they made a quarterback switch. Jack Tuttle came in, led 3 scoring drives in a row, and Michigan came all the way back, went up 17-14 at the start of the third quarter, and after that, it was all downhill from there again. So here's my takeaways from this game. First of all, Michigan, they made way too many mistakes, made too many turnovers, especially late in the game, and it was another rough fourth quarter for this team. We saw it again last week against Minnesota. They were able to, get out of that game with a win thanks to having a 24-3 lead. But we knew going into this game, you had to show up in the second half. You had to show up in the fourth quarter. If you didn't, it was going to be really hard to win this game, especially on the road. Now, coming out of this game, Michigan made a quarterback change from Alex Orji. He wasn't moving the ball at all. He didn't make any mistakes like turnovers or anything, but he just wasn't moving the ball. The offense was stalling out. They went down quickly, 14-0. Sharon Moore quickly made the switch to Jack Tuttle. So coming out of this game, Jack Tuttle, he's probably going to be the starting quarterback from here on out. He just looks a lot much more poised in the pocket. The offense looked a lot better, especially the first 3 drives. They went touchdown, field goal, and then touchdown again to go up 17-14, and Tuttle was making some very, very good plays. He also just looks like a more natural passer out there. Now, he did make mistakes, though, and that kind of cost Michigan this game late in the fourth quarter. He fumbled the ball, and then he threw that interception, which it was a very good play by the Washington defender, intercepting that ball. Probably could have been thrown a little bit better, more out in front, but, obviously, Tuttle coming off the injury, first time playing in a long time. There's going to be some rust, and unfortunately, it kind of cost Michigan late in the game. But what really stood out to me in this one, and it's very concerning, it is the defense. Wink Martindale did not have a great game at all. Really just the play calling. I mean, he did not put these players in a position to succeed in this game. You had Jair Hill slipping a lot throughout the game. Even Donovan Edwards slipped on what could have been a house call late in the game there, which really sucked. But, the defense just gave up way too many explosive plays. And, Washington, they outgained Michigan 429 to 287 total yards, had 315 passing yards and 114 rushing yards, which was also alarming. Washington was actually able to run the ball on this Michigan defensive line a lot better than most teams have this season so far. The defense, they played pretty terrible in the first half. They picked it up a little bit, but then when Michigan went up 17-14 after that, Washington's offense was able to move the ball really well against this defense. And it did seem like Wink Martindale was blitzing quite a bit in this one. Michigan at times wasn't really able to get much pressure, and it just seemed like this team defensively kind of went back to the way they looked against Texas, and that's very concerning, especially when we kind of thought they were figuring things out against USC and Minnesota, as they looked a lot better. They weren't blitzing as much. So I was very disappointed in Wink Martindale's play calling in this game, especially late in the game when it mattered most on 3rd and 8. and he sent everybody, which to me was kind of an obvious passing situation with a 2-minute warning coming up. Obviously if it worked out, it would have been different, but it didn't, and you kind of put, your cornerbacks in a tough situation, knowing nobody's back there. Will Johnson, pass interference call. Then after that, Washington, got a field goal out of it, and that was basically the game. So the defense has to play a lot better. Washington's 429 total yards were the most Michigan has given up in a Big Ten game since against Ohio State in 2022. Now, Michigan did have 6 tackles for loss and 4 sacks in this one, but again, Washington's 114 rushing yards were the second most Michigan has given up this season, which coming into this game, I fully expected Michigan to really dominate Washington's offensive line, and they kind of failed to do that in this one, so that's very concerning. And overall, the whole coaching staff as a whole has to do a lot better. But again, when you go down 14-0 early in the first half, when you commit 2 turnovers late in the fourth quarter, then you also make, a lot of mistakes defensively as well, coverage busts, not great play calling to put the players in a position to succeed. It's going to be really tough to win on the road with all those mistakes that Michigan made in this game, which was a very winnable game. Then you look at the offense, again, they stalled out late in the game when it mattered most. Again, Jack Tuttle coming in for the first time, probably a lot of rust. But the offense just failed again in the fourth quarter, and there was some missed calls by the refs, unfortunate sequences that happened, like the missed pass interference on Marlon Klein on 3rd down. But when it mattered most, the offense didn't show up. Same thing with the defense late in the fourth quarter. So this team has shown what they can be, who they can be this season, especially now offensively with Jack Tuttle in there as quarterback. They just have to fix their second half play, the fourth quarter play in particular, and they have to clean up the mistakes. Can't turn the ball over 2 times late in the game on the road. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Let it all out in the comment section. I know a lot of you guys are going to be upset, really upset about the coaching staff as well, but there were some positives coming out of this game, especially offensively. It seems Michigan has finally found their quarterback out of Jack Tuttle, and even Sherrod Moore did say post-game that, I thought he came out and gave us a spark early. 3 straight drives, we had a touchdown, field goal, and a touchdown, and the players kind of fed off that, and he did say, kind of hinted towards him being the starter moving forward here. Now, it wasn't until last week that doctors also cleared him to play. Sherrod Moore did confirm that, so it does kind of suck because going into the season, throughout the offseason, a lot of people hinted towards Jack Tuttle probably being the favorite to start, and looking at this game now, he probably would have started if he wasn't injured. So that does suck. Jack Tuttle in this game, he went 10 for 18, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a fumble. Again, he looked great, especially the first 3 drives, stalled out, made mistakes, and he's got to clean that up now. But this offense with Jack Tuttle in there looked a lot better. Donovan Edwards also had a good game, 14 carries, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. Khalil Mullings didn't do too much really in this one. He was struggling to get it going. Michigan, though, they did have a lot of injuries going into this one again. Had a banged up offensive lineman. We're missing 2 starters out of Miles Hinton and also Dominic Giudice, and also they were missing a lot of 2 deep players as well. So going into this bye week, getting healthy is going to be very huge, as we got a big game coming up against Illinois in 2 weeks on the road again. Now the season's not over. It's a lot of season left, a lot to play for still, and really this team, they should know they have everything still ahead of them, but it is not going to be easy. And quite frankly, a lot of these teams coming up, they have a chance to beat Michigan, so they gotta, really lock in, come together, flush this one, and they gotta learn, continue to get better. Sherrod Moore did say post-game that, right now we're 4-2. Our job is to play the second half of the season and go try to win every game, work our tails off. We have an opportunity to get better this week, get better next week, and then get ready for Illinois. And Mason Graham also did say that Moore's speech in the locker room was basically, we just win the rest of the games on our schedule, we're going to be in a good place. And he also said that really just this game, it doesn't define us and we control our own destiny. That's what Mason Graham said. And he also said, staying together is the big thing. Don't let this one break our team apart and spiral into something that this team shouldn't be. And he said just looking forward for the next opportunity. And there is a lot more opportunities on this schedule. You talk about the ranked opponents. Michigan has 4 remaining ranked opponents on their schedule besides Michigan State and Northwestern. So going into the bye week, getting healthy, getting back the offensive linemen, the 2 deep players is going to be key. Going into Illinois, and now, this coaching staff will have 2 weeks to get Jack Tuttle more reps and the offense practicing more, getting in a rhythm with Jack Tuttle in as quarterback, and I think that'll be huge. But again, coming out of this game, I think the big concern for me is the defense. They really let me down, and also Wink Martindale's play calling. It's got to be way better. This defense has way too many talented players to give up 429 total yards to Washington. So there's still a lot of season left. This team has to get better. Coaching staff has to get better, and it's really the mistakes, the turnovers late in the game, the fourth quarter play. It has to get better. So this one was a tough one. Really would have been awesome to win this one. But again, when you play like that in the fourth quarter, you're not going to be able to escape every game with a win like you have the past 2 weeks against USC and Minnesota. But other than that, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. Michigan has a bye week coming up, which will be huge for this team. Now they got to regroup, flush this one, and continue to get better. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.